If you're running a roofing business, a restoration business, or any kind of home exterior service and you've been considering JobNimbus, this video might save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars this year. I've spent the last few weeks doing a deep dive into JobNimbus, and I'm going to tell you, the more I looked into it, the more red flags I found. JobNimbus's pricing structure is one of the most confusing and expensive that I've ever seen in the CRM space, and it's not just expensive on the surface, it's also designed to cost you more at every single turn. That's not an exaggeration either. So today I'm going to share my top reasons why I think JobNimbus might be robbing your business and why other softwares might be a better fit for you. So here's how this video is going to go down. First, I'm going to break down JobNimbus's insane 3-layer pricing structures that make it nearly impossible to know what you're actually paying for until you're already locked in. So you're going to learn why a solo operator will be paying at least $300 a month to get started, and that's before you even add texting or really any advanced features. And then next, we're going to dive into the feature restriction trap. We're going to discover how JobNimbus's growing plan, their entry-level tier, limits you to just 10 automations and only 5 integrations. And then they brag about having 30+ integrations, but you can only use 5 of them unless you upgrade. We're going to cover all of that little stuff. And then to wrap everything up, I'm going to walk you through what they really don't tell you up front, and that's the features they market that aren't actually included in their subscription or their software. Their upsells to their paid marketing agencies, SEO, Google Ads, websites, none of that is actually included in a JobNimbus subscription. That's a whole separate bill. And then finally, we're going to provide some solutions with softwares that require no add-ons, no hidden fees, and they're really transparent and come built with everything you need to pay up front. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 major issues that would keep me away from JobNimbus. So let's get into it. And reason number 1 is JobNimbus's confusing pricing trap. When I first went into JobNimbus's pricing page, I expected to see a clear plan options with transparent pricing. You know, like most software companies do. Instead, I found something really different. There's no pricing listed at all, just a form to request pricing. And I guess that's not crazy. Platforms like ServiceTitan have a similar type thing, but just know if you see this, you're going to be paying a lot of money. So remember that. Anytime a software company hides their pricing and makes you talk to a salesperson, first off, it's because the numbers aren't going to look good when you get them in black and white. So I did some research and I figured out how their pricing actually works, and I got access to this matrix. It's one of the most confusing models that I've ever seen. JobNimbus doesn't have simple subscription tiers. They have 3 separate pricing layers that all stack on top of each other. The first one is the CRM base package. That's either their growing plan for $225 a month or their established plan, which is $550 a month. And that might sound doable, but that is not your total cost. That's just one layer. So then you have to add in user licenses on top of that. So every single employee, user, or office staff you have, you're going to be paying per seat. Admins are $75 a month, sales or office staffs are $55 a month, and then your techs are $30 a month each. And they also have subcontractors for $20 per month. So let's say you're a solo operator and you need admin access to your own CRM. You're going to be paying $225 for the growing plans, plus $75 for your own admin seat. That's $300 a month minimum for one person, and you still don't have texting included. If you want to text your customers through JobNimbus, that's a whole separate texting package that runs from $49 to $249 per month on top of everything else. So now let's say you have a small team, 1 admin, 2 salespeople, and 2 field techs. That's $225 for the base CRM, plus $75 for the admin, plus $110 for 2 sales seats, plus $60 for 2 field seats. That's $470 a month. So that's still without texting and a few other features that will be limiting you. So now let's compare this to the alternative that I found to be more superior to JobNimbus in terms of pricing, features, and overall benefits, and that's QuoteIQ. QuoteIQ's pricing is straight up transparent. Their elite plan, which includes every single feature, is $189 per month. Period. There's no separate user fees, there's no separate texting package, no layers stacking on top of each other. You see the price and you pay it, and then you unlock everything. There's no integrations or add-ons, everything's included. So that solo operator that's paying $300 a month on JobNimbus could be paying $189 on QuoteIQ Elite and get more features with more users included. That's 37% cheaper. And that 5-person team paying $470 a month on JobNimbus, they could be paying $189 on QuoteIQ. That's 60% cheaper. And you're still going to be getting more functionality out of QuoteIQ. And yeah, I know this might just seem like throwing numbers at you, but this is really important. JobNimbus's pricing model is designed to obscure the true cost until you're already invested. That 3-layer structure, the hidden pricing on their websites, the need to request a quote, it's all engineered to make the sticker shock hit after you've already started the sales process, not before. And when you do see the numbers, they're going to tell you that it's flexible pricing, but flexible does not mean affordable in this sense. It means complicated. So yes, this one section about pricing will probably save you hundreds to thousands thousands of dollars per month for your business. But let's go on to reason number 2, and that's how JobNimbus's feature restrictions actually are hurting your business more than they're helping. When business owners sign up for JobNimbus's growing plan, they think that they're getting a full-featured CRM. It is marketed as an all-in-one CRM solution. So they see the marketing and the automations, plus the 30 integrations, all the tools to run your roofing or exterior business. But once you actually get inside, you discover that there's limitations, and they're pretty severe. Their growing plan, which remember is already $225 a month before you add any users, and it limits you to just 10 automations. Most businesses need dozens of automations just to handle the basics. Status change automations, follow-up emails, appointment reminders, review requests, customer notifications. You're going to burn through those 10 automations before you even finish setting up your workflow. And here's where it gets even worse. They advertise 30 plus integrations with tools like QuickBooks, EagleView, CompanyCam, and all these other platforms, but on the growing plan, you can only connect 5 of them. So they're making 30 plus integrations as a feature, but they're restricting you to 5 unless you upgrade to their established plan. And their established plan is $550 a month for the base CRM alone. And if you've ever watched a video on my channel before, you know I hate the term integrations. Integrations just means that you're going to be paying for another software just to connect it to your software. I think if you're paying for a software, that you should get everything. You shouldn't have to pay for another software to connect it to your software. I don't want to pay for 2 different things. I want to pay for one, and that's why I like QuoteIQ. There's no integrations whatsoever. Everything is built inside QuoteIQ. Things like EagleView's map measurement, you're going to be paying for EagleView, and then you're also going to be paying for your JobNimbus account. In QuoteIQ, you pay for QuoteIQ and you get Map Measure Pro. We'll get more into integrations later, but I just hate integration. So JobNimbus's established plan is $550 a month for their base CRM alone. That's before user fees, and if you want custom task types, that's not on growing. If you want API access for custom integrations, that's not on growing either. If you want webhooks for advanced automations, that's not on growing either. All that requires established, which again is $550 a month before you add a single user. So that same 5-person team that was paying $470 a month on growing would be paying $795 a month on established just to get the same features they actually need. $759 a month. That's a lot. Those features that are locked behind the established paywall, things like unlimited automations, unlimited integrations, API access, those are all included in QuoteIQ's Elite plan for $189 a month. There's no integration limit, not that there's any integrations to begin with. When you pay for Elite, you get everything. And this has become a common thing on user reviews for JobNimbus. They feel trapped by the pricing model. They start on growing, thinking it would be enough. Then they realize they need more automations or more integrations, and suddenly they're doing at least double or tripling their monthly costs just to unlock what they need. That's not growth, that's a trap. And it breaks a basic rule of software. Growth should lower your cost per user, not spike your total bill. QuoteIQ, I never felt penalized for needing more features. Their Elite plan includes everything, so that pricing stays the same whether you're using 10 automations or 100, if you have 1 user or you have 10. So if you've ever thought I need more automations to run my business properly, but upgrading will cost me another $300 a month, that's exactly when you should pause and reconsider the software that you're using. The last and final reason is JobNimbus's misleading marketing and hidden agency fees. When you land on JobNimbus's website, you're going to see a list of features that look incredibly comprehensive. SEO for search engine optimization, paid ads, Google Business Profile, website services. At first glance, it looks like JobNimbus is going to handle all your marketing along with your CRM. But here's what they don't make clear. Those aren't software features. Those are paid agency services through their acquired company, Roofer Marketers. They're listing services like Google Business Profile alongside actual software features like estimating and invoicing. They're trying to make their platform look more comprehensible than it actually is. But setting up a Google Business Profile is free. Anyone can do it. You don't need a CRM or subscription to do so. It's a separate paid marketing service that JobNimbus will happily upsell you once you're already a customer. And those SEO services, those paid ad management services, those website builds, all separate contracts, all separate monthly fees, on top of your $300 to $800 a month CRM subscription. And then there's features that are just missing from JobNimbus all alone. There's no time tracking. JobNimbus does have manual time logs, but there's no clock in and clock out functionality. And the worst part is, users have been requesting this for over 6 years according to reviews. And the kicker is, time tracking isn't even available on the mobile app. So your field crew, your techs, your employees, the people who are actually on the job sites, they need to track their time and log their hours, and they can't do so from their phones. And let's bring it back to QuoteIQ because I freaking love this software. software. But one of my favorite features that they just came out with is called Suggest a Feature. Yes, this is a feature where users of QuoteIQ can go in and request a feature. It goes back to why QuoteIQ is growing so fast. It's because they actually listen to what their users do. They're not like JobNimbus when they're waiting 6 or 7 years to make another feature. If their users want it, they actually go out and they build it. It's really cool. It's something that I haven't seen in any other CRM in the home service industry, and I really respect QuoteIQ for doing this. But if somebody wants to log their hours in JobNimbus, they have to wait until they get back to the office or a desktop to do so. And in 2025, that's not a CRM built for home service businesses. That's a CRM built for people who are sitting at desks. And their email systems, I've read multiple reviews where users reported missing emails that caused Better Business Bureau complaints and lost business. And their email functionality is so limited that JobNimbus themselves admitted that we're working on improvements. There's no CC or BCC. It's just so basic and it's unreliable, and that can cost you customers and money. So by the time you add up all the inflated CRM costs, the per user fees, the texting packages, and all of their marketing agency upsells, you're looking at well over $1,000 a month just to run your service business. And you're still dealing with limitations like automation caps, integration restrictions, broken emails, and no mobile time tracking. And that's why the alternative here won me over. QuoteIQ includes email automation, text automation, review requests, customer self-scheduling, property measurement with MapMeasure Pro, inspection forms, before and after photo documentation, and employee management with time tracking that actually works on mobile, all natively built in. They're not requiring you to bolt on third-party subscriptions. They're not requiring you to pay for an agency retainer. Everything is included for $189 a month. So yeah, to wrap this whole video up, here's my conclusion, and the reason why I would never use JobNimbus. After spending weeks researching their pricing models, it became pretty clear that it's just not about paying for the software. It's about how their entire system is designed to extract more money from you at every single turn. First, JobNimbus's 3-layer pricing structure hides their true cost. A solo operator pays at least $300 a month. A 5-person team is going to be paying anywhere from $500 to up to $2,000 a month depending on the plan. And that's before texting. That's 60 to 150% more expensive than QuoteIQ's Elite plan, which includes every single feature inside QuoteIQ for just $189 a month. Second, their growing plan restrictions meant that even after paying hundreds of dollars a month, you're still capped at 10 automations and 5 integrations. So you can't even use most of the integrations they brag about unless you're paying $500 a month just for their base CRM. That's not flexible pricing, that's bait and switch. And finally, many of the features that they market as part of their platform are actually paid agency services through roof marketers, and critical functionality like mobile time tracking and reliable emails are either missing or they're broken. And that's why I think QuoteIQ is a better choice. QuoteIQ's pricing is clean, it's transparent, and it's built for real world work. So now let me show you what actually makes QuoteIQ different, because I think if you're watching this video, you care about more than just the surface level features. You want to know what's actually going to be making your life easier on an everyday basis and what's going to save you the most money. So let's check it out. So let's start with measurements, because if you're in the roofing, concrete, gutters, or any type of business where you need property measurements, this feature is really huge. JobNimbus charges you extra for Eagle View or a Hover integration. You're going to be paying for Eagle View or Hover, and then you're also going to be paying for JobNimbus. And you're also paying a per report fee every single time you pull a roof measurement. With QuoteIQ, MapMeasure Pro is built in. It's included inside your QuoteIQ subscription on every single feature. You pull the satellite imagery, you draw your measurements, you calculate the square footage or the linear feet, whatever you need. There's no extra fees, there's no per report charges. It's just in there and you can use it. So now here's where things get a little bit more interesting. I talked about this earlier, but I need to dive into it more because this feature is literally game changing and it changes how I run my entire business. This thing is called InstaQuote. It lets your customers give themselves a quote. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's so awesome. So they go to your website, they drop in their address, they pick out the services that they want, then they can upsell themselves because they're looking at your services going, oh, I need that too, I want to add this, and then they get an instant price. There's no phone calls, there's no communication between you or them, there's no waiting, and there's really no back and forth. Think about what that means for lead capture. Someone lands on your site at 10 p.m. With JobNimbus, they fill out just a standard contact form and they maybe call you back tomorrow. Maybe they forget, maybe they've already called 3 other companies by then. But with QuoteIQ's InstaQuote, they get a price right then. They see it, they want it, then they move forward with it. And this feature doesn't stop there. They also have InstaSchedule, which takes it even further. So after they get their quote through InstaQuote, they can actually see your real-time availability and book that job themselves on your calendar. Then it's up to you to accept or reschedule to another time. So you wake up the next morning with your money in your pipeline that you didn't even know you had to work for. There's no phone tag, there's no scheduling back and forth. The customer did it all by themselves at whatever time was convenient for them. So another feature is called mass text and email blast. Let's talk about reaching your customer base, because QuoteIQ has mass and text email blasts built right in, and it's such a great feature and something you can't get on JobNimbus. You can message your entire list or filter by tags or hit a specific segment. You might say, hey, winter's coming, time for your annual pressure wash. Then you send it to everyone tagged as residential in just one click. It's how you can fill gaps in your schedule and drive repeat business without spending a dime on ads. Another thing that's pretty annoying with JobNimbus is how they charge extra for their insights or their analytics package if you want true analytics. So you're already paying for their software and they nickel and dime you for basically every step of the way. But QuoteIQ takes a different approach. They include their business analytics on every single tier. You get your revenue reports, your performance metrics. It's all there from day one on every single plan. I really don't like how they charge extra for insights. Now, here's something that roofers, gutter installers, and concrete contractors especially need. QuoteIQ has a full inventory management system. You set up your warehouse, you set up each truck as a location, then you can track what's on what truck. You issue materials from warehouse to truck, you record damage or lost items, you get low stock alerts so you know when to reorder. You can even track materials by job site so you know exactly what went where and what it cost. If you've ever had a tech running to the supply house mid-job because they didn't know they were out of something, this solves that. You've got real-time visibility into what's on every single truck. You stop over-ordering because you can actually see your total inventory. You can track job costs accurately because you know exactly what materials are going into each project. And there's also another really cool feature of QuoteIQ called their pipelines. And it's pretty similar to JobNimbus's pipelines. It's the same Kanban styled board where you can track opportunities through your sales process. New leads, appointment schedules, quote sent, negotiating, one lost, whatever stages make sense for your business, it's completely customizable. But here's the smart part. Each stage has a probability percentage. The system automatically calculates weighted values so you can see your realistic revenue forecast instead of just a total pipeline value. You want to know what you're actually likely to close this month? The weighted numbers tell you that. You can create multiple pipelines for different service lines, roofing sales, gutter sales, commercial projects. You can keep them all separate, you can track them separately, and you've got analytics at the top showing you your deal amounts, your weighted amount, closed one, average deal. It's real sales pipeline management that contractors normally have to pay for enterprise level software to get. So now let's talk about QuoteIQ's AI receptionist situation, because I think that this is a big deal. JobNimbus does have AI. It's a flat monthly rate, but with QuoteIQ's virtual call team, you pay for what you use, and I like that way more. It's $1.25 base fee per call, then it's $1.25 per minute after the first 60 seconds. And I really like this. If you've got a slow week, you're not paying for the capacity you're not using. If you get slammed, you scale up. You're only paying for actual conversations. You're only paying for what you need. Something I'm really excited about is that QuoteIQ is rolling out outbound AI calls. So you'll be able to have the AI call your entire list or specific tags or whatever segment you want. Follow-up calls, appointment reminders, reactivation campaigns, it's going to be all automated. JobNimbus does have inbound calls like QuoteIQ, but they have no outbound calls on the roadmap. QuoteIQ is actually shipping this. So I'm not saying QuoteIQ is perfect for everybody, but when you stack the features side by side and when you look at what you're getting for what you're paying, the math starts to look pretty clear. You're getting Map Measure Pro included in QuoteIQ versus paying per report with EagleView with JobNimbus. You're getting analytics included versus paying extra for insights. You're getting inventory management and pipelines that are usually enterprise level features with QuoteIQ. You're getting AI calling that scales with your usage instead of a flat rate, whether you use it or not. So if you're a roofer, a gutter installer, a concrete contractor, anyone in the space who actually cares about both running your business efficiently and keeping more money in your pocket, you owe it to yourself to at least check out QuoteIQ. So this isn't about trashing JobNimbus. Their software works. It's got some solid features for a roofing business, but for someone looking to balance costs, grow a team, and not spend an arm and a leg on a software that you can get for $189, it started to feel like a system designed to charge me more at every single step. Where JobNimbus imposed confusing pricing, feature caps, and agency upsells, QuoteIQ bundled everything together in one plan with one flat rate. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm already overwhelmed by my CRM cost, or I'm constantly hitting feature limits, that's exactly when you should pause and run the real numbers. Because that free trial or the flexible pricing can end up costing you way more in the long run. QuoteIQ does not trap you. QuoteIQ supports you, and that's a difference. And that's why I would make the switch. But if you're still having trouble deciding, just ask yourself this question. What would you rather pay? $1,000 a year or $12,000 a year for software? For me and my company, we like money. And we like to try and make the most amount of money and spend the least amount of money that we can to do so. So if I can get the same exact functionality from one software and save over $11,000 a year, I'm gonna go with that one. and in this case, it's QuoteIQ. That's money that can be saved up for spending on equipment, materials, or marketing to get more customers, which is going to bring you in more money for your business. So if you're curious and you want to test out QuoteIQ, I've linked it down in the description and the comment section below. You can get started today for free and get full access to every feature. You can give it a spin and compare it to what you're paying for now. Let me know in the comments what's been the most frustrating part of your CRM journey. Was it the pricing, the feature limits, hidden fees? Give me your feedback. It helps me make better videos for you guys. So again, thank you for watching. If this video helped you out at all, please let me know down below. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.